I came here, you know, I did this story a little bit differently because it caught my attention a little bit differently. This is how I got started. Well, I had to come to you Black Panther style. I'm going to let the Queen start the story with Dee Dee Said It. And you know I came to set it. This story that I'm bringing to you today, I want you to brace yourself. I want you to understand this story, and I want us to make sure that we take a deep breath, breathe in and out through our nose, because it is one of these particular situations that will make you not just flip the script, but flip a desk over. Especially with what we're going through, then to have so many of our black kids out here just doing ignorant things when we need to use our power and energy for stupidityness like this, which is where my energy will be focused on. Gettysburg college student who allegedly carved racial slur on teammates no longer enrolled in school. That's it. Let's get down to the bottom of this story. That's actually came from, I don't care where it came from. We'll discuss that at an ABC 7 News. PA college student says at least 2 students were suspended from the swim team after a report that a racial slur was scratched onto a student's body. Let's go ahead and watch this.
At least 2 Gettysburg college students have been suspended from the university's swim team over reports of a racist attack. School officials say a racial slur was scratched onto another student's body using some sort of plastic or ceramic tool. Investigators believe this happened during a social gathering on campus. It was reported by other students on the swim team. College president Robert Uliano condemned the attack in a statement, saying there was no place on the campus for demeaning words or action based on identity.
And yes, this is the uncut version of it, because I uncut this version because I couldn't understand where I was at with this story. I'm like, okay, right then and there, if you know how I am, it was like, okay, wait a minute, the story over. So it's uncut. This is an uncut version because I'm going to give you my timeline of how I came to this story. And I'm still looking for, okay, this is only 30 seconds. Let's see. The next portion of this story may be coming up.
Eva, step outside. Let these fine folks go about their jobs. Is that Quick Sticker Teagues? Deputy Janine? As always, you are correct. I yield.
Janine, you know I can
found this story because you've seen how short the initial news story was. So I had to keep digging a little bit because whoever sent this to me only sent me like something partial. Don't make me do too much work, because y'all know when y'all make me do works, like, you know, when I got to work this hard right here, you know, there's never a good outcome. Make me have to go and change my clothes. I don't think I'm dressed right for this fight. I found this little short version of it. Y'all know where I'm going when I say short. Gettysburg college student, again, allegedly carved racial slurs with a box cutter. See, this time it's a box cutter onto another student's chest. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this because for some reason this video is 30 seconds long, 34 seconds long.
I was honestly really shocked. I mean, this school has no place for incidents like that. And you know, when I heard about it, I couldn't believe it. Pretty disgusted. It's just kind of sad. Like that stuff still happens today. Like even though like you know, we talk about all the time, like, you know, having inclusion and like not doing that type of stuff anymore. You know, it's 2024. You know, you can't be doing that stuff, and it's just sad to see that people still think that way and act that way, and just can't have that.
Welcome to NBC News Daily this Thursday. We start with a dire warning as Hurricane Helene makes its final approach toward Florida. Residents in the storm's path are being told they... NBC News meteorologist Bill Cairns...
I'm lost. I'm confused.
And we're already seeing water heights that are...
I was confused. I'm not being funny. I was confused because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is the second form of this story. And we're only at 34 seconds times 2. So we less than a minute into this story with 2 separate news stations. I'm like, okay, here's the second time. Let this commercial play through, because if I let this commercial play through, maybe follow up to the story is about to follow. Again, y'all not following me. But this is the uncut, unedited version of it. I'm giving you the same thing that led me to calling all my Black Panthers and my prayer warriors. I need all eyes, nose, mouths, and ears on deck. With that finger to share, like, comment. I don't care about your subscriptions. That's not what it's about for me. And when you understand me, you'll be free. I'm confused. I'm searching. I'm, again, unedited. Move on. I'm searching. I'm not following this story yet. Something is not sitting right. This is fishy. What's really going on here? I can't figure it out for the life of me. I'm going into every different direction that I can possibly go into to find a story that will explain to me what happened to this kid. Where is the national news? Where is the protest? Where is the cry out for help? Where is these young men need to be charged? I'm not seeing nothing here. And that was so mind-boggling and confusing to me. Let's keep watching. Now we're back to the same video again. And I don't think you're following me to understand why I'm searching so deep about this story. Because we talk about modern day lynching. What form would we call this? We going to drop the lynching because he's still alive? So now we can get away with taking a box cutter, plastic cutter. And if it was a plastic cover, look.
Like, wait.
Where is the rest of this story?
I know it's not just me.
I was confused, literally. I didn't even realize I was even recording or anything. But I'm confused as to why we have such little. This is the only. And you click on any of those, there's no videos. It's just one picture. This is a disgrace. Look, it's only one picture. Gettysburg College Black Student Union.
There's something wrong. Like, where's the rest of the stories? Who is this? Okay. Okay, come on now.
I was literally frustrated at this point. I was frustrated, and I already knew I wasn't dressed right for that fight. I figured it out from the beginning. As soon as I seen the first 34 seconds, I knew I was not dressed right. This is horrible.
Like, where's the rest of the story?
Yeah, I'm a chatterbox in this moment. Hey, this might not be the video for everybody.
Especially the students who came up to us wanting to share how they are feeling following this incident.
I'm beyond angry. I am mortified. I am furious, horrified, confused.
Okay, let me start over right here. Okay, let's go back.
I had to search up and down. I thought I was going to have to put me some weave in. But I had to go to India to get the weave. This is the same story. I mean, let's see what this young fella have to say.
I can't believe that something like this would happen.
Tonight, questions around what happened at Gettysburg College. Officials now investigating what may have been a racially motivated incident. Good evening, I'm Valerie Pritchett.
I'm Alicia Richards, so glad you're with us. Gettysburg College tells us the student who allegedly scratched a racial slur into another student is no longer enrolled at the college. Ireland Viscount is here with our update tonight. Ireland.
Valerie, Alicia, what happened at Gettysburg College has sent shockwaves through the community, especially the students who came up to us wanting to share how they are feeling following this incident.
I'm beyond angry. I am mortified. I am furious, horrified, confused, and most of all, disappointed at what's happened.
It was just shocked. We haven't really had any sort of events like that happen. And it's just like a shocking thing that just came out of complete nowhere.
The family of the victim sent a statement to the Gettysburgian, the Gettysburg student newspaper, saying on the evening of Friday, September 6th, our son became the victim of a hate crime.
From what I know, the N-word was carved, etched with a box cutter into the bare skin of a colored member of the swim team. One of the only colored members, by someone who they thought was a friend, someone who they could trust.
The family statement confirms this and says it was etched across his chest. Last week, the college said plastic or ceramic tool was used to scratch the slur into the student's body.
I can't fathom as to why someone would go to that length, as to why a monster like this, and there's no more appropriate term to use, would do this to someone else. A person, a human being.
Rosario says he's from Kensington, Philadelphia.
AKA what a lot of people call Zombie Town because of the drug epidemic going on at the moment. But now I can say I probably felt more safe there than here. God. With what just happened.
The college sharing a statement from them and the family. It says in part, a heinous act can serve as a transformative moment for Gettysburg College to live up to its ideals of diversity, inclusion, and justice. We pray that together we can arouse a collective conscience, promoting healing and help bring about justice for our son and the rest of the Gettysburg College community. A criminal complaint has not been filed with the Gettysburg police. The department says the victim has decided to let the college handle the matter. In the family statement to the Gettysburgian, they say they filed a complaint with the NAACP Harrisburg chapter and the NAACP Pennsylvania Conference, adding they also sent a similar complaint to the Pennsylvania Commission on Human Relations. Alicia.
This is where I'm confused. I'm so confused with so much of this story until there has to be way more to this story. There's no way you're going to tell me that there's never been anything else like that. So in the history of going to this school, we finally found just 2 children out of all of this time that had such hatred in their heart to where they would even carve that word in a black person's chest. There's never been any signs of any discrimination at this school. There's never been anything. So these are the first 2 children in the history of the Gettysburg College that have ever seen or heard anything like this before. It sounds so confusing to me. It sounds even more confusing to me that this was the only black kid on the swim team. And it was 2 kids he thought were his friends. Now, my recollection of college, the average person only are in college for 4 years. At what year did these 2 children decide that they wanted to commit a hate crime? I mean, when did they decide that they wanted to do that? Yesterday? What, were they watching a TV sitcom? No, this was something that was already embedded in them. It was embedded in them. Why? Because if you think about it, I mean, if this was the only black kid on the swim team, well, when was the last time there was a black kid on the goddamn swim team? When was the last time there was a black kid on the swim team? Because at this point, if there were other black kids on the swim team, then these 2 just came to the school, then okay, they came from other places with hatred in them. Be for real. Something is very, very fishy about this story. And y'all know me, I can literally stop it at every second, but I'm trying to give y'all a break. Does this school already have a history of discrimination? Because again, I'm going off of this story and I'm not pulling another story for it. The young man just said he's the only black kid on that swim team. Or maybe one of the only black kids, but I take it as only one. He's the only one. That's how I'm taking it. Where was the other black kids? There was no other black kid that wanted to go out for swimming. No other black kid could have got a scholarship to go to your school. Was this something already embedded in that school? Was there discrimination already there and it was just never uncovered? But my biggest concern here also is, why was there actually no coverage? Why did we not see anything about this on the news? This should have been nationwide. I mean, because carving the N-word in a black young man's chest that's in college trying to better himself. There's no way you're going to tell me there would not have been an outcry of justice throughout black communities. I'm only one voice. It's a big one, I can say, but it's not big enough. There was no national coverage on this story. None. The family had to call out for NAACP. The family is calling out for anybody for justice. There's absolutely no justice on this story. I am just so shocked that there's no coverage here. To hear this young man say where he's from in Philadelphia, he would rather be amongst the drug abusers, the crackheads, the prostitutes, because he felt safer there. They don't want nothing but some more dope. They don't care about what color you are giving it to them. But you can't even go to school and get an education. Y'all say black people are dummies, right? Black people don't want an education. Black people don't want to better themselves. Black people only want welfare. Black people only want government assistance. Now you got a young man, not only to me seems to be trying to get his education, but also to see if he can maybe even possibly make it in the swim world. I mean, we don't really have a good swimmer for black people, do we? So what, you trying to keep us from there? Take it or leave it, white people. I know y'all watching. I can't help where I'm at right now. Y'all want to help me? Let's make sure these two boys get charged with hate crimes. Don't come for me because I said what I said. Dee Dee said it. You're on my channel. Leave. This is not right. It's not right at all. And I understand a little of the other young guy. I don't know if he was Caucasian, Mexican. I don't know, Spanish. I don't know what he was. I don't want to even really call a name. Things like that has never happened before. I kind of find that hard to believe, young man. I find it hard to believe that this has never happened before at this school. Something is wrong here. For some reason, we're covering up a lot of things. At the end of this story, he said that the victim of a hate crime, he said he left it up to the school. So school, you didn't decide to go after charges against these two young men and charge them with hate crimes so that you can protect the reputation of your school and make sure that other black students coming to your school won't feel that there will be unjust when they get there. So you're telling me that you have not decided to work more closely with the police department to make sure this does not happen again and send your warning out. Make an example of these two Caucasian kids. Make sure it never happens again. You have not decided to press charges. Mom, dad, victim, why would you leave that in the school's hand?
Oh, just terrible. All right, Ireland, thank you. We love garage keypads.
And I'm still looking. It's heart-wrenching. When was the last time that someone can report a story about someone getting any kind of equipment?
The family speak out.
Horrible.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay. This is from the victim's family. So I did another search and I came up with this one. That's how I found this other video just now. So this one says, okay, Friday afternoon, the family, on Friday afternoon, the family of the student had a racial slur cut into their body at an informal social gathering of swim team members contacted by the Gettysburgian, publicized their statement on the incident, saying that their son was the victim of a hate crime. They said the incident occurred 2 weeks ago on September the 6th at a men's swim team social gathering. Wait a minute. Hey to all my queen kings and things. Yep, it's your girl Queen Dee Dee with Dee Dee Said It. Y'all watching me right now. I'm telling you, there's something about this story. It's just not sitting good with me. Hey to all my queen kings and things. This your girl Queen Dee Dee. Yep, with Dee Dee Said It. I know y'all watching me right now. I'm in action. But if you notice, the action isn't started yet. For some reason, I cannot put my hands on this story, but it's something about it. It's just not sitting well with me. So I decided to kind of like do things a little bit differently. I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I need to call all hands, eyes, ears, eyes, and mouths. I need all of them on deck right now because we seem to be lacking. And I don't know why, but I know one thing. We got a college student, black that is, to be defended. We have someone we need to defend right now because he's actually getting no justice. That's what's not sitting well with me. We need justice. We're worried about everything. We're worried about P. Diddy. We're worried about the election. We got Trump. We got Kamala. We're worried about so many things, but the things that we also need to grasp, we think it's too small. It's the big things that we shouldn't be concerned about. What's going on right now in this story, in this video, it requires all of our attention. If you've noticed, there is no attention put on this story. And I need to understand why. I need to understand why when I look at my timeline, why do I see all P. Diddy? I need to know why. I mean, celebrity, had money, did what he wanted to do. That's what he chose. You got Trump. Y'all want Trump? Vote for Trump. You want Kamala? Vote for Kamala. But can we pay attention to things that are at hand right now? It's because of these things right here is why we're so gone past the real society of stopping discrimination, stopping the stereotype, stop profiling. Now we got them doing it. We can't send our kids to jobs. Remember, I just posted a story about the 14, 15-year-old man came up to the window at Burger King and just threw bleach in her eyes. Now we got this kid, we got little kids, parents throwing them out the windows. Just tossed the little baby out the window, 3 years old, 2 years old, just tossed her right out the window. See, these things right here don't get national attention. Now we got a young man trying to be a part of a swim team. Only black kid on the swim team. Who gave any white person, black you too if you had done it, who gives you the right to carve the N word on this kid's body? I'm calling all prayer warriors. I'm calling all eyes, ears, mouths, and noses. I want you on deck. We need to share this story out. We need to understand, why is this innocent kid the only black kid on the swim team? Why is this innocent kid not getting justice? I also want to know, let me think about this. Was it just me that noticed? I haven't seen this in the national news. Was it me that noticed? I haven't seen or heard anything from NAACP. Was it me that noticed Benjamin Crump, you didn't step up on this one. Al Sharpton, where are you? Reverend Jesse Jackson, I know you ain't around no more, but hey, can you open one eye for us? We need the law in on this. There has been no hate crime charged against this Caucasian student at a college that knows better. But you will arrest our black children if they bring fake water guns to school. Oh, because it's a threat. Let's get back to the story. This one's just telling the story of, I actually have found this letter and I started looking through it, as you can see in the previous clip. I started looking through it because I'm like, wait a minute, no, I want to start right here because I want to take my time and I want to be able to post this here as well. So I started looking at this story and come to find out this story today is September 27th. This story has been in the news this big since September the 6th. It says it right here. 2 weeks ago on the evening of Friday, September the 6th, our son became the victim of a hate crime. The family even asking, what are we doing here? This is literally a hate crime. The incident took place at a gathering of a swim team member. It is important to note that he was the only person of color at this gathering. Wow, right here, he was the only person of color there. The reprehensible act was committed by a fellow student athlete, someone he considered his friend, someone whom he trusted. This student used a box cutter to etch the N-word across his chest. Now, if you go back to the news, all the news kept saying, oh, it was something plastic. But what they don't understand, even if it was something plastic, that makes the story even worse for me. It's harder to carve that anything into a person with plastic. I would rather them have kept the box cutters. Not that any one of them is any better, but to hear that someone can take plastic and just keep digging. Think about it, and you digging, and you digging, and wait a minute, and the first thing on the end, you got to do the first line. So imagine how many times these two white boys at their gathering just dug and dug and dug until now they just finally broke the skin. That's the first line of the end. But it was a box cutter because the news tried to take the coverage lightly. In less than 48 hours after the incident, our son was interviewed by the members of the coaching staff and was dismissed. Not suspended, but he was dismissed from the swim team. So 2 days later, this young man was in, so somebody went back, I guess it's the members who was there, somebody went back and told the coaches at the swim team that this young man had the N-word carved in his skin. And what the swim team coaches did, unless I'm reading this wrong, was dismissed from the team. It say in less than 48 hours after the incident, our son was interviewed by members of the coaching staff and summarily dismissed, not suspended, from the swim team. The punitive action was taken prior to commencement of the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities, our own investigation. This does not appear to have followed the policies and procedures stated in the Gettysburg College Student Athlete Manual. Okay, so I just said it.
There's no way. There is something. I told you something had to be wrong, because if they're telling us, the young man said that this boy happened to have been the only black person of color on that team, or person of color, black person, whichever way. So because something happened and this young man went back and told, he got interviewed, they dismissed him. They gave him no kind of knowledge, no kind of nothing. They just kicked him out. Now you're telling me while he's sitting there talking to the coaches of this school, the N-word is at that moment carved on his chest, and they dismissed him? As we await to discuss the decisions made by the college staff, the harm continues without much relief. Media outlets, social media, online, and broadcasts continue to perpetrate misinformation stemming from an act of racial animus. In the same vein, the isolation that pairs with being isolated from many of the Gettysburg College community that had to come to trust deepens the harm. We understand, we want to be clear that we understand that an investigation should not be rushed. We support a fair and thorough investigation to this end. We appreciate the standardized procedures and protocols that are in place. We know that they are meant to ensure that the rights and responsibilities of all parties involved are maintained and protected. But at the same time, we have been proactive in seeking redress through other parties, complaints. This is horrible. Citing racial discrimination, harassment, and lack thereof due process have been filed with the NAACP Harrisburg chapter and the NAACP Pittsburgh Conference. We have also filed a similar complaint with the Pennsylvania Commission of Human Rights. Are you kidding? We have come forward now with the statement in the expectation that it will all add to clarity. Basically what this letter is saying, no one has done nothing. They have literally been dismissed. This is why there has not been any national recognition. While we worried about things that's going on with Cardi B, why is Cardi B not trying to get involved with this? We're worried about things that's going on with Trump. We're worried about Kamala. We already got black and white in the house. But there's some gray in between, because this story is right there in the middle of it. There is no justice for this young man that actually have to go around with the pain of someone racially profiling and stereotyping him and committing such a heinous crime. It takes the breath out of me to just feel like you get to tattoo something so derogatory on my skin and everybody dismiss me. I know the feeling, but I can't feel it. I feel it deep because I went through my own pain just recently, but just to know that someone scroll down to some of the comments. Got to be comments, yeah. There you go. The victim and his family are being quite reasonable. I hope the college handles the matter correctly and bring credits to the school. Unlike the prior president, whose actions damaged the school in numerous ways. This was just posted a couple of days ago. I don't want to be rude. The victim and his family are being quite reasonable. We know that. I hope the college handles this matter correctly and brings credit to the school. Unlike the prior president, whose actions damaged the school in numerous ways. I mean, first of all, had that been in something a black person did, that comment right there was lightly said. I don't even want to address it. But the person here said this incident must be thoroughly investigated. The challenge for justice is not left to the student or his parents, but to the officers of Gettysburg. The broader challenge is to the community, and who should not sweep this incident under the carpet, but address it fully through consequences for the perpetrators and those onlookers who failed to stop the behavior, and through racial justice education programs that advance our common humanity. Okay, lady, Betty, I don't even really want to get on you because it sounds like you're trying to sweep something under the rug, and with a name like Betty, I don't know who you are, where you come from, but I want you to bet your way back under the tea. Okay, Betty, I want you to go on. The reason why I'm telling you to go on, the incident must be thoroughly investigated. Dumbass, we just said that. Didn't you hear the man say that right here? Didn't you hear the parents say that? Didn't you hear that? You already read this story, the 34 seconds that was there. We already know that. This is what I'm saying. They take certain things and they try to make light of it. She's trying to sweep this under the rug, and it's not right. The challenges for justice is not left up to the student or his parents. What do you mean the challenges for justice is not left up to the student or his parents? Dumbass, it's left up to the student. The challenges. What do you mean the challenges? You're trying to say the incident alone or the things that could be stopping. What could stop this case from moving forward to a racial crime? The reason why it can't be charged as a racial crime, they engraved it across his chest with an object. With a deadly object. I'm sure they did it without this young man's consent. What do you mean the challenge for justice is not left up to the student or his parents? The challenge, right at this point, there is no challenge anymore. A case for me happening at McDonald's and you're wrestling me down the street at Burger King. That's the challenge. Right there, those are two separate places. How did you get me for trespassing? You can't trespass me somewhere that had nothing to do with it. You can't tell me engraving this across this young man's chest. That's not a challenge. That there is no more challenges. I just hate people that go to talking and just talk to hear themselves or just to be able to print something on the paper, type something on the text, leave a dumbass comment. What about the previous president are you referring to? Hogan's Heroes could have been a very teachable episode. Are you kidding me? So you guys are making a joke out of this? Hey, Trouble. Trouble telling me I got more work to do than just this part right here. I'm going to come back and I'm going to dissect the comments. Trouble just gave me something else to do because I want to go in on all of them. This story is horrific. I wish that the family get the justice that they deserve. I'm going to do whatever I can, and I hope I got followers to support me on this. We got a lot to work. We have a lot of work to do.
Hey, all my Queen Kings and Things. Yep, this your girl Queen Dee Dee with Dee Dee Said. I got a lot on my mind, and I had to come dressed right for this fight. We're all watching it together. I'm calling all my Black Panthers. I'm calling all my prayer warriors. I'm calling all hands on deck. I need your eyes, ears, and your mouths to be in place. We have a black kid that we need to defend that's now a young adult. I can't understand why there has been absolutely, literally, not enough coverage on this story. I don't know why this wasn't something in the national news. I don't understand why I had to get something like this emailed to me. I don't understand why when I look at timeline after timeline after timeline, I don't know why I keep looking at P. Diddy. I don't know why every time I turn around, all I can see is Trump. I can't even peek around the corner without seeing Kamala. All the things that matter but really don't matter. It's getting all the attention. What happened to our youth? This is a college student trying to be better. This is a college student trying to have something. I don't care if he's the first black kid that make it through swimming. What was the motive for this other than a hate crime? I don't know what the stats or statistics was on this kid while in college, but I can tell you this, something motivated these white Caucasians to carve the N word on his chest. They have not been charged with a hate crime. You have to be kidding me. The last time I used profanity was July 17, 2022. Didn't you hear me just a second ago? I almost slipped. After being charged with a felony for something I know I didn't do. After being charged with trespassing somewhere I know I didn't do. I didn't do that there. It wasn't trespassing. To be falsely arrested and falsely accused of something. Sit on house arrest for 5 or 6 months. I'm charged with a crime that I didn't do. Now we have 2 Caucasian kids out there with no hate crime charges. Where is the rallies at for this? I have heard no protest on this. We're going to dissect this story together. And we need to get some justice for our kid. September 19th. A lot of y'all didn't remember the date. No, I didn't even put a video together yet. Hey, Sun Kiss, thank you for being ears as always and my eyes. And I know you got me in this story. Hey, Miss Donna, I know you got me in this story. Hey, all my loyal subscribers. As of September 19th, just like I promised, house arrest box, it's over. When the Lord got you, then what are you worried about? Y'all can follow whoever y'all want to follow, but I'm telling you, when you're blessed and you're highly favored, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing. September 19th, Sun Kiss, leave it in the description. Let them know. It was September 19th, right, Sun Kissed? It can all drop. Charges dropped, dismissed. Young lady had to call in and admit it on. I lied on her. I told her LIE she didn't touch me. I walked in the courtroom. I went in there 3 seconds. As soon as I floated through the door, attorney called me over. Public defender, that is, because I told y'all I didn't do it. Little girl called in, signed papers and everything to admit and own that I didn't do it. I'm on the next journey to this. The Lord did not just sit me down for no reason. It's me looking at stories like this and making everybody understand that we have a true problem in this world. There's a true problem. I had a charge falsely charged against me. 2 of them. And they were eager to charge me, sit me in jail, have me bond out, get a car out of towing, then throw me on house arrest 2 weeks later. I got charged with things I didn't do. And you're telling me we have 2 Caucasian kids with the eyewitness telling us all that? They just carved the N-word in me, and they obviously bragged about it, talked about it, thought it was cute. The swim team, some members of the swim team went back and told it. But I got charged for something I didn't do. Whatever it was a misdemeanor. They charged me with a felony. Do you know it's on my record? These 2 young men, they got a, whatever they took, a plasticware, a knife cutter, whatever. They carved it in his chest. Imagine if it wasn't even a box cutter. Imagine if it was something plastic. So you dug and dug and dug in this child's skin until you got the first end. But I want to know, how hard did you dig to get the line on the end first? Because you got to have 3 of them. DOJ, Department of Justice, complaint against the police department and also against the judge that even threw me on house arrest with no justified cause, never even gave me a reason why.
Got it on tape. The whole.
There was injustice.
Tape.
Why am I telling you my story incorporated with his? I got charged. I got actually charged 3 times. Because then I got house arrest. And don't forget, on September 19th, I walked in the courtroom. She didn't do it. Young lady called and admitted, signed paperwork. She lied. The bad part about it is they didn't even call me prior to, because I'm sure she did not sign that paperwork on September 19th. So I still sat on house arrest days after all of this was done. Are you kidding me? And you're telling me that these 2 boys were not charged with hate crimes yet? Make it make sense to me. We need to stand for something, or we're going to fall for anything. My challenge just started again. I'll give you the update and the specifics on what we're going to do to make sure that we get justice. Justice.
Black woman, new race. Verified black queens. Capricorn, hard worker, loyal, leader, trailblazer. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you don't do anything else, just get to know me. This is your girl, Queen Dee Dee, where Dee Dee said it.